Hello and thank you for joining us on the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Mayodele Uzubaku. Today on the program, Governor Obiano hit Malami over emergency rule comments on Anambra, says President Buhari is not in support of the action, as PDP orders kick against such moves. Northwest governors, Niger Republic counterparts plan meeting on security as Governor Tambuwal visits Nigerian refugees in Benin Republic. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Olayinka Oyebile. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. It's a battle for supremacy and show of power in Anambra State over rising insecurity ahead of the November 6th governorship election. The governor, Willie Obiano, has come hard on the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over remarks suggesting emergency rule in the state. Governor Obiano urged him to stop being a fifth columnist, as President Muhammadu Buhari is interested in a free, fair election in the states. Meanwhile, the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) has cautioned the federal government against imposing a state of emergency in Anambra State, describing such move as a ploy to suppress the will of the people and manipulate the electoral process. Babajide, when I saw this, let's pause for Governor Willie Obiano's video, his reaction to the threats to declare a state of emergency in Anambra State.
Well, that's a very unfortunate comment by the Attorney General, Malami. Very, very unfortunate. I also reported that to the President, and this is not in the books for the President, because he knows that Anambra has been the safest state in Nigeria for 7 years plus. These invaders from outside Anambra State, from the neighboring towns, we are going to deal with them. We're already working, so there's nothing, even to contemplate state of emergency, unfortunate. Look at what is happening in the north. They kill dozens every day. Because less than 15 people were killed in Anambra in 2 weeks, is that the reason for somebody to call for a state of emergency? That's a very unfortunate comment by Malami. I will call him to express a reservation on those kinds of comments. He shouldn't try that. Anambra is doing well. And don't forget that Malami is on the national campaign committee for the APC candidate. So if that's their strategy, then they failed already. Come to the ballot box, Anambra will win and win hands down. Sorry, APGA will win and win hands down. So they are trying to see how they can destabilize us. No. APC has no root in Anambra. There's nothing to call APC in Anambra. Anambra is APGA. So, sir, yes. And I mentioned it, and the president didn't suggest that. President is firm. He wants a peaceful election in Anambra State. He wants a free and fair election in Anambra State. That's the president for you. But if people in his party are going around making insinuations, using his name to do things, the president clearly told me that he does not support that. Full stop.
From my experience in journalism, that's a State House correspondent. As in, after meeting with the president. Yes. After meeting with the president, Governor Obiano addressed. He sat down there. Right? Sat down there, and the press corps of Mr. President, it was the people the Governor Obiano was speaking to. So where did Abubakar Malami, if Obiano is saying, no, this is not the mind of Mr. President, where did Abubakar Malami, where did he get that threat of declaring a state of emergency? If a state of emergency has not been declared in Zamfara State,
and Niger.
And Niger State. And Kaduna State.
Anyone is entitled to an opinion. As we have seen, I don't think the president supports this idea of state of emergency. I saw the Attorney General speak with so much anger yesterday in a manner that I had never seen him. And I thought that those comments were unfortunate. They ought not to have come from him as a person. Because you are a lawyer. What kind of state of emergency are you contemplating? The Obasanjo kind of state of emergency where he used the 1963 law that no longer exists? Not even the 1979 law, because the 1979 constitution is like the parent of the 1999 constitution. So much was borrowed from the 1979 constitution to give us the 1999 constitution. And someone used the 1963 law.
Jay, I want you to shed light on this.
To impose a state of emergency. You see, when we talk about state of emergency, some Nigerians think that a state of emergency means the president will come like a sergeant major, remove all democratic structures in a state, including the parliament of the state. That was an Obasanjo aberration. This president will not do that because he knows that Section 305 of the Constitution, I've read everything, I've read it over and over again. Almost like breathing in and breathing out, I've read it. That's nothing any lawyer can tell me about this thing. I've read it. There is nowhere
in Section 305 was it specified
with all of the subsections
that
where the president is permitted
to dissolve
democratic structures. Nowhere. And I've been saying this for years because people keep asking me, why don't we have a state of emergency? The state of emergency that even Governor, was it Governor Yari or even the current governor Zamfara was also talking about it. I said these governors, they can't even read the Constitution to know the limits of the powers of the president. In fact, in that Section 305, the governor of the state is permitted to suggest to the president to come and impose a state of emergency in his state. By law, after the House of Assembly in the state had met on that matter and resolved that, look, this matter is beyond us. The governor is now vested with the power to approach the president and say, Mr. President, come and impose a state of emergency in my state. Not that you, and when you, even in contemplating that, it does not say that structures, democratic structures will go. It talks about extraordinary measures to achieve peace. Those extraordinary measures are even being done in Kaduna and other states now, where you stop telco services. It's an extraordinary measure. Even in wartime, people are allowed to use their phones. That looks like extraordinary measure. You say, okay, nobody should use this road again. Extraordinary measure. The little man of Kaduna will say, oh,
coffee.
No, nobody should go to that livestock market anymore. You stop livestock markets from operating. That's an extraordinary measure. So there are all kinds of extraordinary measures that can be taken, especially curfews. Because when the soldiers move in, they can say, okay, at this time we have introduced curfew. That was what happened in Borno State. Jonathan introduced back-to-back emergency rule in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa State. But the governors were not removed. The assembly in those states were not removed. In fact, if Jonathan wanted to do it, he would have removed the governor of Borno State.
Okay.
Yes.
He
would have, yes, because they were at the point that they were even exchanging words. He was abusing the president at one point. So he could have removed him. But he didn't do that because he knows that there is no provision for that in the Constitution. Now, not everybody can repeat some of what Obasanjo did. Obasanjo will use 7 persons to impeach a governor. And as if that was not enough, he did it again. In today's Nigeria, some of those things that Obasanjo did cannot even be contemplated. So there's nothing like removing governors or all the elected structures in a state because of a state of emergency.
Well, what do you think, is wrong? Because Jide was talking about Minister Malami talking tough. Now the governor of Anambra State, it was talking tough and saying that this call is an irresponsible call. It's not popular.
I also watched it yesterday, and I was wondering why the Attorney General was so incensed. Agreed that a lot of killings and crime are being committed in Anambra State, but what is going on there is not far worse than what is going on in other parts of the country. Are we running one country and two systems? The thing that is happening there, what it takes is for everyone to come together and say, okay, what are we going to do? Elections are coming, and we know that when elections are coming, such things will happen. It's very unfortunate that it is happening on that scale, but at the same time, the Attorney General if it were to be another minister, perhaps we won't be saying this, we won't mind. But the Attorney General, a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, even a student 101 in law should already know that it is not, this is not the kind of time to call for that kind of. What will be the basis? Is it that the people are being killed? Yes, we agree people are being killed, but it is not the basis. It doesn't call for such a drastic action, because when you take such an action, especially when elections are approaching in a region where you know the disposition of the people to the federal government, and then you would now want to. There are some people in the government who are pursuing their own personal and private agenda, and they want to use the power of office and the power of the federal might to prosecute that agenda. What Governor Obiano has said is very right. Elections are coming, and you are talking of a state of emergency. Okay, if you declare state of emergency now, will the election be postponed? Will there be election? How do you hope to solve the problem?
What will happen to the turnout?
What will happen? This is a time when people should, or in fact, all leaders from north, south, east, and west should be summoned together that, look, what is going on in Anambra? What is going on in the southeast? What do we do to make sure things don't go out of hand? Rather than just coming on air and be talking about state of emergency, who are you threatening? Does that make any sense?
Let us even look at some of the stipulations
Okay,
that can warrant.
to.
It says that the president shall have power to issue a proclamation of a state of emergency only when the federation is at war. The federation is in imminent danger of invasion or involvement in a state of war. Because the president...
Not the state.
I'm getting there. The president is the only person
that can
permitted to declare a state of emergency, because we run a federal system. But all the 3 tiers of government, heads of the 3 tiers of government, is only the president that's permitted to impose a state of emergency. So it says, if there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof, to such a extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and security, or there is a clear and present danger of an actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation, any part thereof, requiring extraordinary measures to avert such, or there is an occurrence of imminent danger or occurrence of any disaster or natural calamity affecting the community or a section of the community, or there is any other public danger which clearly constitutes a threat to the existence of the federation, then the president receives a request to do so in accordance with the provision of subsection 4. That's where the governor is vested with the power to say, Mr. President, do this for me. So it then says in subsection 4 that the governor of a state may, with the sanction of a resolution supported by 2/3 majority of the House of Assembly, request the president to issue a proclamation of a state of emergency in the state when there is in existence within the state any of the situations specified in subsection 3C and D. So you can see there is no total breakdown of law and order in Anambra.
No.
The only time when people experience attacks and the rest, maybe on Mondays, people come out, they get attacked. Schools are in session. Banks are open. The state is not at war. Some of those conditions listed here have not been fulfilled to even require a state of emergency, talking about the state. In Kebbi State, in the Zuru area, 88 persons were killed in one day. That is the Attorney General's home state.
And
he did not call for a state of emergency. We are talking about 15 people being killed in weeks. But he's quick to ask for a state of emergency. In Zamfara, some communities have been taken over completely by bandits. They've chased the people away. They kidnapped the father of the Speaker of the state and they have murdered him. They've murdered him in captivity. In Kebbi State, Birnin Yauri to be precise, students of Federal Government College, Birnin Yauri, have been in captivity for more than 110 days now. No one has called for state of emergency in that state. The things that have happened in Anambra are not worse than what have happened even in Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State, they've burnt INEC offices, they've done all kinds of things.
Done a lot of
in Ebonyi. Check the record, you see that they've attacked government government buildings more in that state than even Anambra. So people will come and ask all kinds of questions that what is the thing, why, what is his interest, that he could get so angry.
Would this not be foiling that insinuation or that body movement that people from the East feel that they are not too comfortable with the, with the movement of Mr. President? If somebody as close as the Attorney General is making a threat to declare a state of emergency, and the people would now say, the knot has been upside down for how many years now?
Unfortunately,
why did they come up with such a threat?
Unfortunately, we have a situation in our hand where the president, either publicly or even behind the scene, will not rebuke his lieutenants for such things. Because the president immediately said that the president should have cautioned him, either behind the scene or publicly, because what he has done or what he's doing is like a man in a hole that is digging deeper into the hole again in his way to trying to come out. And when you are in a hole, you don't dig further, you find a way to come out. A section of the country or a region of the country where you know very clearly well, either rightly or wrongly, the president is not loved or liked there. And instead of you to even appeal to the leaders of the region that gentlemen and ladies, call your boys, call your children to order, Nigeria is one and all that, you talk peacefully. You now come out smoking and unnecessary
threat. Do you think the threat was born out of the election that is less than 1 month now? That look, if the situation persists,
that's the reason why I shouldn't have said it.
Let's protect this election. That the election supersedes every other thing. Maybe that is why Malami just looked at it that look, just a blanket threat. That look.
What does the threat amount to? That's the question that you should ask. It's just an impotent threat. The state of emergency that he is conceiving in his head, no one will impose that in today's Nigeria. This is not Obasanjo's government. Obasanjo is long gone as Nigerian president. the things that they did then, that they got away with it, it's not at this time that anybody will try it. So what does the threat amount to? Will the threat stop the killing of people? You are issuing threat to a governor. A governor is not the chief security officer in a state. A governor is just the chief logistic officer for security in a state.
That's all.
Because they are the ones who provide cars, provide trucks for this police. The government, federal government only pays salary of policemen.
Some states, they even
if states, no, they give allowances and all that. They give allowances. Now, if all states fail to support the police with logistics, or even people like Dangote who have bought those sedans for the police, if they stop doing it, the police will crumble. What we are having now is a situation in which the president is the one who has the power to deploy the armed forces to any part of our country.
And the police.
The president is capable of solving the problem if he takes the right steps. Now, instead of the Attorney General to work with the president to see how they can beef up security and ensure that our people can move around freely and cast their ballots on election day, he is issuing threats to the governor and other people. That is not the solution.
It's not.
Because the governor, what does the governor do? Can the governor order the commissioner of police, for example?
No.
As we speak now, they've changed the commissioner of police.
Yes.
Can the governor say, okay, commissioner of police, come here. Why don't you deploy so number of people to this, and you order him? He cannot order him.
He can't.
He cannot order him. So it's not, they just call them chief security officer in name.
On paper.
On paper, but in reality, they don't have the powers of a chief security officer. They are chief logistic officers for security in their respective states. That's what they do. You need to sit with some governors and see them expressing their frustrations. There are some governors who will probably have handled security better in their states.
Yes, if
it was not under the purview of the federal authorities. But their hands are tied. Their hands are tied. Now, I even think that it's even directing the anger to the wrong quarters. It should direct the anger at the IG, for example, the Inspector General of Police. Civil disturbances are within your powers. Within your powers as this IG in the country. You know, normally we shouldn't see soldiers on the streets. It's part of extraordinary measures that soldiers will now flood the streets just to protect. It's the job of the police.
In over 30 states.
Now, if we provide all that the police needs, let them have serviceable APCs, their own tanks and all that, things will improve. And this election in Anambra, they will do it.
Of course.
No, did they not? The last election, was this not the way they were attacking people that time? And people were worried. Did they not do the election? They did it. In 2011, Boko Haram was throwing bombs even on election day. It didn't stop Nigerians from doing the election.
People were still born.
Okay, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. We're still on the threat to declare a state of emergency in Anambra State. We'll be right back after this timeout. Please stay with us. Journalist Hangout, reaching you live from TVC News from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. And I have Babajide Kolade, Otitoju, and Olayinka Oyegbude still in the studio. Abubakar Malami, I'm sure the jabs and the punch he has been getting since yesterday. You will know that and feel especially from senior advocates of Nigeria from the eastern part of the country.
Yes, you know, the people are angry because they know that, yes, what is happening in Anambra, in the east generally, is undesirable. We don't want to see people stop from going about their lawful duties, especially on Mondays, you know.
They are business people.
They are business people.
Commercially oriented people.
Yeah, so we don't want to see killers. People. Yeah, we don't want. They mind their business. We don't want a situation in which you stop people from earning their legitimate income. We don't want that. But it's not to say that, okay, emergency is the next step to take. Abba, from where to where? People will ask questions. Our leaders provoke all kinds of questions from people. Because when you talk like that, they will now say, oh, how about your state?
In fact, that's what is going on now.
How about
you see, that's what.
Yes.
If you read the papers today or online, that is what
that is the
people
thing.
are asking.
They are the ones who, by their actions and inactions, provoke these needless questions that tend to heat up the polity. Because what is look at now, PDP is saying it's because they want to rig. Do you blame them? PDP is looking for an opportunity. You now give it to them on the platter of gold. Look at the governor.
Since 1999, at least I've covered like 4 election cycles in Anambra State. And what the governor said is not far from the truth.
Yeah.
So if you are saying that this party, the truth there is that that state, after the election, it will be difficult to say a party will take over, because it's just their traditional, the remnant of the legacy of Dim Ojukwu.
That's always one.
That is the only thing left.
The way it is in that state, Abga always wins the local
elections, State House of Assembly.
But when it comes to the National Assembly election, PDP will dominate.
PDP will take it.
So
APC is not in the equation.
No, they've not been winning elections in that place. This time around, more and more people are defecting.
Yeah.
And Abga has its own internal problems.
That is
maybe
that is
this time around,
they think
maybe APC will do much better than it had done in previous years. I expect that even when the governor is talking, he too will say APC does not exist. That's the way politicians talk. After all, Akpabio said, with the president in attendance at a rally, that everybody in Akwa Ibom has joined the APC. And I was looking at him.
We saw the result now.
Yes, somebody who only win one local government. And the president was watching and he said, I know that everybody, Mr. President, as you can see, everybody in
the stadium was filled to capacity. Yes, they followed him. They mobilized to that stadium. No problem. On election day,
we know
let me tell you, anybody, you can feel a stadium.
Yes.
Because when I'm watching a rally, the time when I can sense that a party is strong is when in that stadium they are wearing ashwebi.
Okay.
When I see them wearing ashwebi with that mammoth crowd, I know that is the party to beat.
Mobilization.
That means they mobilize. That means because for you to arrange to give yourself
ashwebi, not t-shirts. That means because some people give t-shirts.
No, t-shirts. They can share that one. Okay, you must be organized.
Yes, now
at your own low level, right up to your age, before you can be able to share ashwebi to people. You know, they will sow it. They will sow it. You know, and all that. So when you see them, because to get people into a stadium for a rally, you pay money.
The cheapest thing.
Yes, you pay money, and you give money at the level of the leaders of the local government wards and even streets. I've seen them back in front of this Polaris bank here to share money. They were going for a rally and they were saying,
500, 1,000.
So they were sharing the
money. That's the way
they packed their bus as if they wanted to do banking transactions. They packed there and I saw them, they were sharing money. That's Nigerian politics for you. But when you see them, they are wearing the same ashwebi, fear them, they can win an election.
Yes.
Prince Will is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for staying with us, Prince Will.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Ayo and Babajide.
Good evening, and Dr. Egbile.
And the man at the left hand.
Dr. Laika Egbile.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this journalist hangout. I've been calling for years, but thank God I got two people today.
Congratulations.
Babajide and Ayo, you people have been saying the truth for many years till now. But the problem is that how can that truth work out? The government, the president, Mr. President, and his cabinet listen to this. Look, let me tell you, 2 days ago, a a senator from Anambra came on channel television. He said something, and what he said was the truth, that the president needs to talk to these Easterners, talk to this youth. Forget about the body language that you are saying, that you will treat them, you will tell them the
language
you will speak the language they will understand. Let them just calm down. Let the elders calm down. Talk to these guys. Talk to people. The language they will understand. Not firing them, not by forcing them. But talk to them. Say, listen, we will do this. We understand the road is not good.
Yes, okay. I get the drift of your...
It's very high.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I think, yes, and we're still talking about dialogue here.
Yes.
Dialogue here. Yes, the president went to Imo State, but a lot of people are saying now that, look, the president would need to engage these people more. And they would need to see that, oh, yes, this person, the president demonstrated leadership in his trip to Imo State, but unfortunately, the same, is the IPOP people who declared a sit at home that day again, so the streets were deserted.
No, you see, the issue is that people or IPOP will continue to oppose the president, and some people in the southeast will continue to criticize. But what it needs is that understanding that you don't have to wish them away and say, well, they don't like me, and I don't care. You are a father of all. The trip to Imo is good, but I think it is cosmetic. Because what was achieved there, you only met with government people. You only met with people who are in government or who are near government, some selected people you met with. The real people at the grassroots, you never met with them. And those are the kind of meetings that I think the president needs to undergo or convey with all these people.
Before we move on, there's there are another set of people. When we mentioned the people the president should meet with and everything, there are some people, they are in diaspora, they are not in Nigeria. And it's like a nucleus of IPOP. And they found the embers of disunity, discord. They're in London, they're all over the world. You see them. They have followership on Facebook, followership on Twitter. They all sort of. How do we treat this case? Because those ones, they are not in Nigeria. They can afford to tell people that, oh, Nigeria will born. But we are in Nigeria, our children are in the country. How do we treat these people, Nigerians in diaspora?
Honestly, if we provide good leadership, good governance, those guys will be rendered irrelevant. Who will listen to them? They are feasting on the anger of people here because they know that a lot of Nigerians are not happy. You are talking about a bag of rice, a bag of beans, being about 100,000 now.
We started the countdown from 62,000.
Yes. Then it went to 73, and then, people are going through a lot. Those of them in the diaspora, they send money home.
Yes.
They are frustrated too that a lot of their earnings go to saving people from dying from hunger. So it is the anger of the people at home, the frustration of people at home that they are feasting on. But with good governance, with a lot of the problems that we are grappling with now being solved incrementally, I can tell you that nobody will care to listen so in fact they will be attacking them.
Yes.
And they too will stop even posting the rubbish that they are posting. But they know that people are angry. They know that people will want to watch. So that is the thing. Government has to be focused on delivering the dividends of democracy and bringing about real growth and development that people can see. Real growth and development that will have an impact on the ordinary Nigerian. Once you continue to do that, you are focused, you are not distracted, honestly, things will change. After all, you see what happens in other countries. We even give people money to procreate.
Yes.
Husband and wife married, they say they don't want to have children.
Yeah.
They can regulate
France,
the population.
France, Russia, they give you money to for your wife to born, just to encourage you, because
It's free for all.
population is constitutes economic strength.
Yeah.
Now
That's
those ones are
unfortunately-
refusing to
give birth.
give birth. So gradually their population will be going down. That's what they want to avoid. So they now encourage you. They
It's
give
the
you
other-
incentive
opposite way, yeah.
for you and your wife to go into the other room and then do the next.
According to Mr. President. All right, moving on now. Triggered by public outcry that more than 50,000 residents of 17 communities in Sabon Benin local government area have relocated to Niger Republic, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State and his counterparts from Doso, Maradi, and Toha in Niger Republic are planning a meeting to find a lasting solutions to insecurity in the region. The planned meeting will involve governors in northwest states of Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, and Katsina states. Meanwhile, Governor Tambuwal has visited Nigerian refugees in Niger Republic. Bajide, Nigerian refugees, Okay.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, recently disclosed that as a result of the rising insecurity in most parts of Nigeria, over 300,000 Nigerian refugees are taking refuge in neighboring countries. The minister says over 180,000 refugees are in Niger Republic and close to 200,000 in Cameroon, and over 16,000 are taking refuge in Chad Republic. Sokoto is one of the states faced with worrying security challenges. The Eastern Senatorial District of the state has come under a series of attacks leading to displacement of its citizens. Some of the displaced persons are taking refuge in different camps in Niger Republic. Governor Tambuwal decided to visit the displaced persons in Niger Republic, accompanied by heads of security agencies in the state, humanitarian service workers, and other government functionaries. They embarked on an over 400-kilometer journey by road through the Ilela border, with Nigerian security forces and their Nigerian counterpart providing security cover for the journey. At the separate camps in Dandaj, Makau, and Gidan Kaka, the governor assured the refugees that plans are on the way to relocate them back to their respective villages.
We assure you that we are working hand in hand with the government of Niger Republic in ensuring that by the grace of God, soonest these individuals and citizens of ours are taken back to their respective homes in Nigeria.
The governor also revealed that President Muhammadu Buhari is working with governors of the troubled Northwest region to restore peace and resettle all displaced citizens.
It wasn't our desire, but we are working hard in collaboration with our government, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, to establish peace in all of the affected areas, not only in Sokoto State, but in the entire country.
Governor of Maradi region of Niger Republic, Zakari Omaru, disclosed that Nigerian refugees in his country are not from Sokoto State alone, but some are from Katsina and Zamfara State. He says the figures being circulated in the media are far less below the number of Nigerian refugees in Niger Republic.
Nigerian refugees in Niger Republic. I don't know. I feel so bad because Niger as a country. Let's look at the security situation of Niger as a country and what is the level of development in Niger compared to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But people will still leave our country because of the insecurity to run for their dear life and seek sanctuary in the Niger Republic. Babajide.
Yes, it's been happening for some time. And it's not Sokoto State people alone, just as that governor said. from Katsina, people are running into Niger Republic. That's from Katsina.
Well,
And other states, yes. You know, there are business people who transact business in daytime in Katsina State, but they sleep in Niger Republic. They don't sleep in Nigeria because of insecurity. These bandits can come in the night and just set
pick them up
everywhere ablaze. So they are not ready to die. So they have built houses there. They have built houses. These things are this kind of meeting. I remember that the governor of Katsina State went with the commander of the military base in the state to go and have a meeting with them there. Because your people are there. You just have to, from time to time, go to see them to even know, see how they are doing. The governor of Borno State went to Niger Republic to see the refugees there from Nigeria. Some of them had been living in Niger Republic since 2014. Boko Haram chased them into Niger Republic. When you go to a local government like Abadam local government in Malam Fatori is the only town, the only community in Abadam local government where people are residing. And who are the people residing is only soldiers. Nigerians are not staying there. They've all gone into Niger Republic. More than 120 communities in Abadam local government. Nobody is living in them. The people are fled to Niger Republic. That's where they are. I once spoke with the lawmaker representing them in the House of Assembly in Borno State, and he was telling me that, look, all our communities have been abandoned. Our people are in Niger. Now, on the day when Zulum went there, he went with money, he went with gifts, rappers. Nobody had visited them since they got there. And what happened? There was a stampede. Some of them died.
Yeah.
Some of them.
To get rappers to
rappers was giving them rappers and money. Some of them died. In the same thing, just before the president of Chad died, he also went to Chad to visit our people, you know, from Borno State in Chad. There are many of our people in Chad as well. Then Cameroon, you know that local government, Kalabalge local government. We have a military base in Ran, which is the headquarters of Kalabalge. From time to time, Boko Haram will attack this military base. When they attack the military base, people will flee into Niger Republic. That's what our people do. Remember when they attacked the Gaydam, which is the hometown of the current Inspector General of Police. The people fled into Niger Republic. That's what usually happens. So now Cameroon still has no less than 100,000 Nigerian refugees. Those people, they are just holding our people for us. I'm sure they are kind of tired. But they know that these people don't want to die. If they leave, they are likely to die. So they are still there. We've got to defeat the insecurity in these areas. All of those 6 states that share border with Niger Republic, 6 Nigerian states, border stretching out to 1,000 kilometers. We have to keep those places safe. When they are safe, our people will not need to go into Niger Republic to go and hide their heads.
Dr. Willie?
It's an unfortunate situation that we are dealing with, because if you look at it critically, it is Nigeria that should be serving as a sanctuary for such neighboring countries. Not that people will run away from Nigeria to go to Niger and all those. I mean, Nigeria has the resources, we have the manpower, we have everything, but it is that deployment of that power. Honestly, I look back with some sense of nostalgia. When I sit down with younger people and we are talking and we tell them what Nigeria achieved under this same President Muhammadu Buhari, when he was not even the president. You remember what he did as GOC Jos. What he did that he chased the Chadian troop up to their border. I mean, so what has gone wrong?
They had to tell him to stop.
They had to tell him to stop.
And you know how the president described what he did? He said, I gave them a bloody nose.
A bloody nose. So what do you, I mean, if such a man is today the president, what has gone wrong?
Oh, we are getting
I mean, we are the one that is getting the bloody nose now. I mean, we are so ashamed
A lot has changed.
Exactly, to even say that you are a Nigerian, Chad, Niger, going to those countries to seek refuge.
One of those countries,
from the
giant of them as the failed states.
Exactly.
Because a huge part of Nigeria is unprotected.
Are we a giant with clay feet? I mean, it's very, very unfortunate that rather than protecting them, they are the one now protecting us. So the midgets are protecting the giants. That is what is happening.
Our governors will keep going there because their people are there.
Exactly.
The governor of Katsina went to Maradi.
Yes.
The governor of Borno went to Difa in Niger Republic.
So
he went to
all
Chad.
of them we have to be going.
Because you can't hear that people are somewhere and not be interested in knowing
At
how,
what point in time
doing.
do we have did Sokoto start experiencing
Sokoto
the fair share of this banditry?
Yes, they've always had, especially in local governments that are bordering the
not at
republic.
the scale that it is now.
Now,
That's why.
Local governments bordering Niger Republic, they've always had some issues with banditry. Local governments like Sabombrini, Isa, Tureta, you know, they've always had pockets of armed banditry attack. You remember even the former governor, Atairu Bafarawa, you remember that one of his brothers was kidnapped back then, you know, in Isa. Isa is the local government of Atairu Bafarawa. They've been having issues for some time. But the moment they started attacking bandits in Zamfara, then there are a huge influx.
Yes.
A huge influx of bandits
moved
into Sokoto State. And it is this same Sabombrini, the same areas where they have been notorious. Those are the areas that they went to. So the people, when the people get killed, they then tell themselves, what are we going to do now? They have to move
to a safe haven.
I think there is a feeling that the gendarmes are much more ruthless.
Yes, with
in dealing
people.
with
exactly. That is it.
They don't tolerate nonsense.
No.
So people feel. There was a VOA Hausa service report. You know, that I was listening to, where the people were saying, whenever bandits attack them, and they call Nigerian security forces, they will wait and wait, those people will not come. But if they call the Nigerian gendarmes, they will come into Nigeria and rescue the people from bandits. So
that's our territory.
Yes, they come in, deal with those bandits and then go back. The VOA thing, I have the audio clip from a VOA Hausa service, you know. So this is the thing. More people will feel like going to hide their heads there, as long as there is no peace here, and it's getting worse. They are saying that because they have access to Nigerian telco services. Although it's expensive, but that's what the bandits use. The ordinary people can't use it.
No,
they are saying it's too expensive. You know, there's another audio clip where someone was narrating what they are going through. I was listening to also in Hausa. Now they are using the telco services of Niger Republic to coordinate attacks in Nigeria, talking to people from with the SIM cards of because in those border communities you are within Nigeria, but you can use networks.
And
it's the same thing in Borno State too. You know,
Even the public company, when you take your line there,
so they can easily sabotage even these measures that we have taken, because they can use
no, but what needs to be done is to retool and make sure our security agencies are up to date. And It is not that we don't have the human capacity. It is just that lethargy. Period.
I think to rebuild the army will take a long time. It will take a
Yeah,
while.
but we have to start.
Because an army that was abandoned,
for
not
long.
provided for. You know, Jonathan was, when he was campaigning here in Lagos, he said that the ordinary rifle they were not buying for the army.
Yes.
It's not a lie. For a
It's
long
not,
time,
it's
successive
not.
governments abandoned the armed forces
because
they thought a war would never come.
Yeah.
But now we have war.
keep a
We
large
have war.
army in
Now
peacetime.
we need a large army. Well, we no longer have a large army.
don't have the money.
The war at
Now
home.
we need weapons.
Don't have.
Those weapons were a lot easier
To procure.
in those days because we were rich.
Yes.
Our currency was strong.
Yes, but
Now it's not easy.
Oh my God.
It's not easy. So
I have a
we
caller
to
from
build the
Sokoto
army
State.
from scratch. Oh, it's good.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for
How is
joining us.
Sokoto?
Yes, so
I hope you are not in Sabombrini and those places.
I'm in Sokoto town.
Yes, Sokoto is
Okay.
Sokoto.
Stay safe there. Don't go to Isa and all those places.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
Yes, we
please.
can hear you.
You are my last caller.
Yeah, Babatunde, I want to thank you very much for telling the truth. In fact, this truth that you are saying will protect you and guide you.
Amen. We protect all of us.
Because you are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I just hope that all Nigeria will know you are doing a great job.
They know.
They know.
I know
They
God
know.
will protect you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
God will protect you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead and be doing that great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If
Thank you.
nobody reward you, Almighty God will reward you.
Amen. Amen. I
Thank
claim
you.
it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
All right.
claim the anointing.
A person just called to pray.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. I thought you called in to tell us about the situation in Sokoto.
we will
But we still appreciate you. I want to thank you, Olayinka, Dr. Olayinka Oyebili. I used to have this PhD. It's not those honorary courses. It's not those
Honoris
doctors that you pick on the street. PhD. So it's very important.
Thank you
that
very
Nigerians,
much.
they know.
Some people got honorary degree, the other it led to a controversy.
Some will even go to one theology school and just pick one of the doctors.
You say doctor of theology.
Doctor of theology. This is a PhD. And the maestro himself. Thank you.
I agree with you.
We are getting ready for that Sunday onslaught.
Yes.
Sundays now, it's always very hot.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. And don't forget to join us on Sunday, 11:30 to 3:30 p.m. 2 hours. 11:30, that's 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. See you on Sunday, 1:30 p.m.